Good morning, everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. I had some coffee, and as an adult, I found a little silly straw, so I'm using the silly straw to drink my iced coffee out of. Shout out to everybody. Hey, Cheeks, thank you for renewing your membership. Lord have mercy. Look, oh, why do I hear sound? There we go. Sorry, I had to close another window. So we got to talk because I did see that Ron had posted a video, and I didn't get to watch it until today. And I was like, I forget. I was busy yesterday. There was a lot going on, but I didn't get to watch it till today. So I was like, I gotta watch it. And shout out to my beautiful, wonderful members in the Discord who reminded me because I looked at it again. I said, oh, I gotta watch that. We're going to get into that video and then we're going to get into some other stuff as well. But shout out to everybody that's here. Brianna, Chico, Pika, thank you for being here. Dirty Bitch. Yes, Spooky Fox. Thank you guys for being here. Who else? Let me see. Cheeks, thank you for renewing again. Shout out to you guys. Pika, who else? Hold up, y'all. Wim, Nola Lola. Hey Amy. Hey everybody. Hey Kat, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day too. All right, I think for the most part, everybody that needs to be here is here, right? Let me do a quick little intro and then we will get started. Hey, Ronnie G. Okay, let's do a little quick intro and we will get started. Let's go. Okay, so this will kind of give me some time to get prepared as well. Let me go to my page real quick. So I kind of want to read everybody's comments on this too. I had posted a picture, a screenshot of Aaron's photo. So for those that don't know who Aaron is, he runs the page Growing Up in Scientology. And he is somebody that I have followed for all things Scientology. I am not an expert in the topic of Scientologies. I'm very much intrigued by it, given how much power this organization has and what it's done to people that have tried to leave it. I think I've watched every episode of Scientology in the Aftermath with Leah Remini and Mike Render. So this isn't really like to give commentary about what happened as far as like if there's drama or stuff like that, but it did kind of like rub me a little bit the wrong way, just the way things have landed for Aaron. So Aaron has come in, started a YouTube channel and publicly really open about his experience with Scientology. And I really just was amazed that his willingness to share, to talk about different things, willingness to challenge various characters. I know he talked a lot about the Danny Masterson case, and I mean even that opened my eyes to how Scientology is so intertwined with the LAPD and all that other stuff. So there's a lot of education that comes out of Aaron's channel, and this is why I love that channel. But oh yes, yes, remember we did a video about how Scientology has like in the specific police stations, they have the kiosks. I'm like, well, they don't have a kiosk for other religions. I don't know. I'm an ex-Scientologist, and Aaron is a really good guy in my experience. And I'm sure this isn't even about that, right? But I was amazed that, like, I guess I'm just very much now wondering. And we'll watch Aaron's video here in a little bit. But you're following Dickie Ron? Stop. Oh my goodness, y'all are funny. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And we're going to read some comments, of course, because you guys left some interesting comments. So I posted this. I said, this is upsetting to hear. What do you guys think? And I posted a screenshot of Aaron's video and the title, I am no longer on the board of the Aftermath Foundation. And he says, people have said here different things. And I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about your guys' comments because they were very interesting. I'm a Seahorse says, it feels like some sort of rules are in place as they had in Scientology. I followed them for years on other platforms and found Aaron this year. I enjoy his perspective and content. Somebody else said, I was sad that was happening to Aaron. Watching that last night, you could see his side, and he did it very gracefully. You can hear the passion he felt about the foundation. He's going to do some great things. I would agree with that. No matter whether it's this foundation or whatever foundation. I didn't know that Aaron was one of the first ones that was, started the Aftermath Foundation. I found that to be, I mean, he was the vice president. That's how I understood it. So how all of the voting works was very interesting to me. All we can do is continue to support him and all he does. Someone said no one has the facts, so it's difficult to have an opinion. The foundation is there for leaving Scientology, and that is who everyone should focus on. I would agree with that. I like all these creators and will continue to listen and support them all. The foundation is there to help support those that are leaving the organization, right? That's what it does. That I follow Aaron, and I forgot to watch the video last night. It's been a lot going on. You get the holidays coming and everything. I've saved it for later. I wonder if Scientology is behind this. I don't know. I don't think so. At least I don't think so. I don't know. I can't speak for that. But there were, at least the way Aaron talked about it, it seemed like some Scientology type of behavior that you would talk about in Scientology, right? Creating ethics, or bylaws that, you're part of the foundation you weren't even aware that were there, or something to the effect of voting someone out, um, who started the organization. And mind you, none of these people are getting paid. This is just an organization that, is truly there to support folks that are leaving, financially, both and in different ways that they can help, which is amazing and awesome. And I'm glad that they're doing that. And I hope that they continue to do that. And I hope that there's more organizations like this, regardless of what is going on, because they need to happen. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I just feel something feels off. Somebody said in the comments, I think and this is my member. Shout out to my member. Alyssa for president says, I think the organization is eating itself alive. I love all of them involved in the cause, but what they did to Aaron wasn't right. Sometimes I think they'll fall back into the toxic traits they were trained into Scientology, but don't even realize it. Now, that comment is a mouthful right there, right? Completely. Mm. The current board members say that all board members were present and they didn't secretly vote in a code of ethics. They won't comment further and say that they were omissions and lies on Aaron's part. It felt very dismissive and honestly similar to how Scientology handles situations. All around, very sad to see. It sounds like it wasn't handled well. Now, let me just say this, because some folks were saying we shouldn't comment on this. No, 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 no. We should. It was brought to the internet. We should definitely comment on anything that's brought to the internet. If it's on the internet, if Aaron put it out there for people to comment, and by the way, his name, it's still up there under previous board members. So he was officially removed from the board. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear people say, well, we shouldn't comment on it. Well, what are you talking about? The members, the current Mike Rinder and Claire, and again, nothing against them, they didn't really do a good job in addressing the elephant, because all the super chats that they got, okay, in the chat was about what happened, what had happened. And they can't even really disclose that. So I don't know if there's attorneys involved. Listen, I don't know anything. Okay, I'm just going to drink out of my silly straw. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Sure am. Because I don't know. Let's watch a little bit of Growing Up in Scientology. This is Aaron's channel. I did link his channel in the description box so you guys can check him out. You could tell that this is very upsetting news for Aaron. Okay.
The Church of Scientology is so afraid of. Per day while I was here in London on vacation. Turns out the Airbnb that we're in is such that it's impossible for me to record or do anything if I'm home, unless I'm home alone, and I'm never home alone until tonight. Everyone's out seeing Book of Mormon, and I figured, you know what? I'm not a big fan of musicals. Always wanted to see the Book of Mormon, but I think I can sit this one out. 8 days ago, last Sunday, I was voted off the board of the Aftermath Foundation. And I want to do a video about this sooner, but I didn't want to do any videos until I did this video. And like I said, this is the first opportunity I'm getting.
He was voted off. Okay. So He was voted off. Why? Why was he voted off? What had happened? Right? How are you voted off of an organization and you're not being paid for it, right? Like you're not getting paid. And you are a essentially someone that was a shaker and a mover and really started the organization, right?
To do this video. So let's get to it.
I
I do
don't
have some
like
notes in
that.
front of me. I'm also working from one screen when you guys might know I'm used to working from 3 screens. So I'm going to try to not make this too awkward, but let's just do it. So the official reason for my removal was a video that I did 2 weeks ago, calling out an attorney, one of the attorneys representing Val Haney in her trafficking suit against Scientology. And I didn't say the name of the attorney. The title of the video was something like attorney makes huge mistake in Scientology trafficking case. And that video was about Graham Berry. And you wouldn't know that if you'd seen the video, because I never said Graham Berry's name in the video. And, you know, these plaintiffs are represented by large law firms. These law firms have tons of lawyers. If you already knew that Graham Berry was the one guy who was supposed to show up to that hearing, then you knew that's who I was talking about. And if you didn't already know that, you would never have any clue. Okay. Now, apparently, that video that I did about Graham Berry violated the Aftermath Foundation's Code of Ethical Conduct.
So what was see, and I need to go watch the video. So let me stop right there. The thing about this is really gets to me is that even if there is a code of conduct, like if you were one of the movers and shakers and very much early on started in the organization, you should probably have known that there's a code of conduct, right? Like it should have been an obvious thing. But what if you didn't know that there is a code of conduct? And this leaving Scientology, both the channels and everybody else that speaks about this is very much a public thing, right? So whether you speak out against an attorney or whatever it may be, or a situation, what is wrong with that? What's wrong with speaking out? Like, I guess I just have this idea that if somebody is in Scientology and they've taken it, you know, they've now used their voice to call out some of this stuff, why would it make any difference whether it's an attorney or somebody else, you know, that you're calling? I shouldn't, right? If you're a survivor and you're calling some of this stuff out, more power to you, attorney or not, whoever the hell it is. Is it just me? And Michelle Kelly, thank you for becoming a YouTube member of our channel. Thank you, love. He is not negatively affecting exactly the aftermath. They have never had a bigger bank balance. His channel is a different entity. And even if it wasn't, though, Kim, even if it wasn't, his role, they're not being paid for being board members. That's my understanding. At least that's what I heard Claire say. They're not being paid to do anything or anything like that. Okay, but he wears his Scientology, anti-Scientology proudness. Like he's very proud of. He speaks out against it all the time, and he will say, you know, I stand with the survivors, and he's unapologetic about it. So why should he have to mute himself or anything like that when the foundation is about helping survivors? Why can't he also speak out, whether it's an attorney or whoever the hell it is? It is. It's voluntarily. Exactly. The president has been forced it like 4 or 5 months ago. Really? Thank you, Annie. And see, Anne says, look, Scientology mentally is behind this. Aaron and Luis started the aftermath. Now others that were higher rankings with knowledge reports have secret votes, not notifying him, the VP. Oh, this is not good. Hey, Emily. Hey, Messy. Funny how both Louise and Aaron were both forced out, right? I mean, let me be honest with you. I wouldn't want to be part of an organization that nobody wants to be. Nobody wants me there. But I've also been part of organizations. Like if you look at it as a, I don't know, board member, employee type of stuff. I've supervised people that I didn't particularly care about, right? That I'm like, damn, you know, I'm really having a hard time with this person. But for the mission of the organization, you put that aside and you try to work with people. That is one thing, and I have to teach my kids every day. Okay, you have to break bread with people that you don't like or that you don't necessarily respect, but you got to figure out how to do that in an intellectual type of way where the mission is done. If the mission is to help victims or survivors, then that's what you got to do. You put your big pants on and then you do it, right? You pick it up and you go. Now, is that ideal? No. Is that going to be something that'll be for a lifelong thing? No. But if the mission is to help victims, then it should supersede any type of feelings that you may have with board members. Brett says, my mantra has always been go where you're appreciated. True. True. Right? You want to go where you're loved. But it's not always like that in organizations, right? Just it doesn't always happen that way.
Now, not only was it a surprise to me that a video such as the one that I did would violate the Aftermath Foundation's Code of Ethical Conduct, it was in fact a surprise to me that the Aftermath Foundation had a Code of Ethical Conduct. Because when Luis Garcia and I created the Aftermath Foundation almost exactly 6 years ago, we did not create a Code of Ethical Conduct. There never has been one. One was not required. It's not part of our bylaws. It's not part of our incorporation documents or anything like that.
So how does that happen? Right? Because if you there was no code of conduct, there was nothing, right? The members are growing, people are coming in, um, and when it was created, if you're one of the ones that created it, like you would think that you would have played a bigger role in that creation of code of conduct, especially being a VP, right? Is it just me? And I understand. One of the things that Claire said in her video, she said, this we're not nobody's paid. Okay, but it's still a 5013C, right? It's still collecting money. There's still representation. You still can be sanctioned under various whatever penalties could be if there's any wrongdoing, right? So can we treat it as such? Even though you're not paying, nobody's getting paid, but your time and your heart is in this organization to help others. So how does this work? I guess I don't know. Gutted for him. He didn't want to leave, even though he's been getting frozen out of friendships for a while. I mean, listen, they're over there celebrating Thanksgiving. I heard that nobody invited him to the turkey dinner. I'm just saying, like, come on now. Come on now. He was subdued. That sounds concerning, right? Absolutely. Because I think that this is she's not really involved like that. Like I know that she presents herself, but she's not a board member. I mean, I don't see it on the website that Leah Remini is a board member. I could be wrong though. But it sounds like the Aaron and Leah are good, and at least he says it on the video. But yeah, I don't know. I noticed at the last fundraiser how quiet Aaron was. Unfortunately, I think that they've been treating him badly for a while. Um, I think Aaron is an asset no matter where he goes. He may not be everybody's cup of tea. Maybe he might piss a lot of people off, but I mean, have you guys seen the way in which he has brought attention to things that maybe a lot of us wouldn't be able, like I'm not a Scientologist or former or like I don't watch a whole lot of ex-Scientology channels. I don't see, and this is no shade to Mr. Mike Rinder, but I don't see Mike Rinder holding lives like when the Danny Masterson thing was happening, how he was really getting in there and really, really, really trying to bring awareness to the different things that connect Danny Masterson to Scientology, to Ashton Kutcher. To me, the way I see Mike Rinder and the others, I see them like kind of like a foot into Hollywood still. I would see them at more of a celebrity than an actual advocate, if that makes sense. Whereas Aaron, I see a little bit more of the people's people, you know?
It turns out that less than 12 weeks ago, unbeknownst to me, and through a vote that I was not aware of and did not participate in,
Listen,
the foundation adopted a code of ethical conduct that prohibits any board members from publicly criticizing any individual or any organization that does any type of work with or for the Aftermath Foundation, or is engaged in any type of work even similar to the Aftermath Foundation. Strange, right? Now, if I had been aware that such a code of ethical conduct was being voted on and was being approved, I would have had a difficult decision to make personally. Would I commit to being restrained in what I'm allowed to say on my YouTube channel, or would I voluntarily step down? It's hard for me to say with 100% certainty how I would have handled that at that time. I probably would have signed the document and then crossed that bridge when we came to it. But honestly, it would have put me in a tough position.
If he had been aware of there being some kind of a code, right, and then also exposing Scientology and running the channel the way that he does, standing behind the Jane Does, okay, that has been amazing work. I don't know if we would have gotten the same AA Ron, right? Because AA Ron has always been unapologetic about the things that he says. He goes in, right? That's what I love about AA Ron. And thank you, Dirty Bitch. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. It sounds like Scientology infiltrated. They claim that there was no secret voting and all the members were present. So which one is it? Because somebody's not being honest. Either they vote. Okay, so this is kind of how I see this, right? Maybe there was some kind of a like outside of the email conversation, maybe some phone calls, some text messages between the members. They do get along, and then they say, well, let's start an email chain and let's talk to in this email. Now, are they voting people out via email? Is that how it works? And if you have an issue with a person on the board, why are you part of that voting part? Because wouldn't that make it a little bit biased, right? Like, can you imagine sitting at a board? You have this organization, you've been working at it years, you started it, you started the organization, and then you got these people that maybe there's maybe it was cool at one point, but there might be some animosity, and we don't really get it. We don't see eye to eye. We don't see each other anymore, and they're voting to take you out. How does that work? How is that even like fair? Did they bring somebody outside to do this? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know, y'all.
Because I have used my channel to criticize people who needed criticizing. And I've criticized people who, according to this new code of conduct, I would be prohibited from criticizing. So, for example, Chris Shelton. Chris Shelton is someone who could be considered to be engaged in work that is at least similar to the Aftermath Foundation, in that he sort of helps people who are leaving Scientology. Now, after the first Danny Masterson trial resulted in a hung jury and a mistrial, I very publicly criticized Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega for platforming the jury foreman who said publicly that the Jane Does were not credible and were not believed by a majority of the jurors.
So Chris Shelton, and I did pull up his info. He is an author, consultant, anti-cult activist, podcaster, YouTuber, and former Scientologist. He was a member of Scientology for 27 years and in the Sea organization for 17 of those years. He left Scientology in 2012 after he started speaking out about his experiences. So he does have kind of his own following and whatnot. Um, my question is, why would it be in Chris Shelton's place to say whether victims of crime are credible or not? I mean, I'm just kind of wondering. I don't know.
And that no reasonable jury could ever unanimously find the Jane Does credible. Now, at that time, the Jane Does were made aware that this interview was going to be done and going to be published. And the Jane Does asked Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega they didn't say don't publish it. They didn't say don't do it. They said, could you just please wait until the district attorney or the deputy district attorney announces whether he's going to retry Danny Masterson or not. The guy who thinks we were all unbelievable and that nobody would ever find us believable and was actually working with the defense to get the charges against Danny thrown out. Could you just wait on publishing that interview until after the DA makes an announcement about whether he's going to retry Danny? And Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega said, no, we can't wait. This is a scoop. This is our right. We're going to do this anyway. Basically, we're going to say F you to you guys. Okay.
So instead of, instead of just being patient and understanding towards the victims, it was a big F you to the victims. I guess I'm just confused by that. They're building a cult, and he was calling them out, and that's what he does. Every day is a great day not to be in a cult, except they kind of are. Well, you based on how Aaron is saying this, they've kind of built one, right? I don't know Scientology like that, and I am more than willing as a non-Scientologist to speak and bring awareness, just like I'm more than willing to speak and bring awareness to whatever other cause may be out there if I feel it in my heart like this is definitely impacting victims. But what is this all about? It sounds like what how could I put this? Because I've seen this in organizations. Um, hmm. It sounds very top heavy. Is that a word? Yeah, very much top heavy. I've seen that before. And it takes a lot of guts to call that out. Hmm. Just saying. I don't know. I don't know. Right, Leisha? It sounds super sus. In my opinion, those other board members probably didn't like what Aaron was saying in his videos about the Masterson case and other high profile cases that the Code of Conduct is BS. Right. Right. Interesting. Yeah, so if he isn't an asset, for what is a charity for? This man is an asset. He does very well. So I'm confused.
I very rightly publicly criticized Chris Shelton and Tony Ortega for doing that. Based on this new code of ethical conduct that the Aftermath Foundation has adopted, doing that video would be something that would get me removed from the board. So as you can see, it would be a problem for me. Now look, about Graham Berry. Graham Berry is a very competent attorney who has done a lot of good work going up against Scientology for decades. He's an attorney that I and the foundation have sent a ton of business to over the last 6 years. And I will continue to send business to Graham Berry. When it comes to the type of cases where he's sending demand letters to Scientology to get people's money back, there really is nobody. Graham Berry has no peer when it comes to helping people get their money back from Scientology. When it comes to the recent trafficking cases, many mistakes have been made. Many mistakes have been made. Deadlines have been missed. Incomplete filings have been made. Declarations have been omitted from filings. Mistakes have been made. And Graham was just replaced on one of those cases just today. So I was not completely out of line in my criticism of Graham Berry. I just want to say, I didn't name Graham Berry. Now, Graham sent a letter.
But who cares if he did? Who cares that he criticized the people within? Isn't this about accountability at the end of the day? Like, are we supposed? Look, if it doesn't work in an email communication, right, and it's impacting victims and other folks, why can't he just say what he has to say vocally? And maybe this is why he's not made for the foundation, even though he created the foundation. What? This is what I mean by top heavy. This is what I mean by too many, cooks in the kitchen. Too many. Too much. Not cool. Not at all.
To me, copying the foundation, all the board members, threatening to sue me if I did not delete that video and publicly apologize.
Oh my God.
What that video had anything to do with the Aftermath Foundation is beyond me, but I don't want to belabor that point here for a moment. Now, after discussion with Graham, I did delete that video a couple days after I posted it. I just wanted to say that for the record. And I wanted to say there's no real hard feelings. I mean, if I'm, even though, anyway, there's no hard feelings. Okay. So that's the official, hold on, let me switch screens here, you guys make sure.
I'm not buying that, Aaron. I do believe that I would have a lot of hard feelings. Let's just be real. We wouldn't have created a video if there wasn't any hard feelings. I'm not buying it. There is hard, and there should be, right? I would be like, I'm feeling it for him, and I don't even know the guy. I can't. Just saying.
Okay, good. Back to my notes. That's the official reason. Now, I feel there's no official reason that I'm going to give that's going to be like, what are you talking about? Well, how could that be sufficient reason to get rid of you? There were a lot of unofficial reasons discussed in the 30-minute conversation that I and the board had on Sunday evening. What it really comes down to, guys, for a long time now,
here it is.
Every time I get into trouble or piss someone off, people go running to Mike Rinder and Claire Headley complaining about me.
Why?
Now you might go, who cares? Just tell them to F off. Okay. Every time someone is pissed off at me, they go crying to either Mike Rinder or Claire Headley. Oh my God. Did you hear what Aaron said? How can you let him do this? You must do something about Aaron. Oh my God. Did you hear what Aaron's done now? This is horrible. How can you tolerate this? You must do something. Any such complaints about me have had nothing to do with the Aftermath Foundation. Nothing. In the 6 years this foundation has existed, there's never been a single complaint about me that had anything to do with the Aftermath Foundation. But they are just sick of being expected to be accountable for what I say and do, or who I've pissed off this week.
That's what I think it is. Honestly, I think out of everything else, I think it's that right there. Yes, Aaron is an activist, a loudmouth, unapologetic advocate. Shout out to my loudmouth, unapologetic advocates. Someone who I would want to speak out up for me. Absolutely. What if I was? What if I was about clout and status and not rocking the boat? I might not like him that much. Absolutely. It's the Aftermath Foundation. And, we're going to go to that webpage here in a minute. There is no transparency from the other side except saying Aaron is spreading misinformation about what happened. Several other disparaging comments, too. Hey, Pasclot, so it's so interesting you say that because I did see their response video. And do you understand how many people super chatted to get something? And let me tell you something. Yes, this has all played out publicly. Ron put a video in response as to why his name is not on the website anymore. Okay, people are going to speculate when you this has been a very to me the reason why I know about the Aftermath Foundation is because of Aaron's channel, nothing more. That's it. He has played he's done social media so well and brought so much awareness to it. So to me it's like, yeah, he's owed more than, well, it's it's not this way. We need more transparency on all ends, right? Like, I'm just saying. He does. First fundraiser, he encouraged all to follow the lower subscription channels so they can qualify to 10K subs. Yeah, it's so funny because I remember, especially after the Danny Masterson, I mean, he was out there, he was having fundraisers. I believe he also fundraised for Mike Rinder's treatment as well. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak out of whatever, but if I remember correctly, he's done a lot, not just for the foundation, but for those that were supporting the foundation. So this is very sad. So yeah, for him to say, like I would be hurt. I'm hurt for him. And I'm not even him. I don't know the guy, right? Mhm. Mhm. It sounds like a personality problem, right? He's ruffling feathers and the Aftermath Foundation seems to want to look good, but what are they doing to help actual victims of Scientology recently? And in addition to that, Aaron, between standing behind the Jane Does, what else has anybody else? I have never like I'm just saying, what else has everybody else done? He's the one standing behind the Jane. He takes a lot of shit from a lot of people, and I've seen it too. Scientology is that one entity, right? But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He did say that, and that's how we found out. He raised it. But is that part of Scientology? No. That to me sounds like somebody who really cared for you and wanted to, raise some money for your treatment. He didn't have to say that, but that just tells you that this is really a personality issue amongst the members.
That's their feelings. I cannot blame them for their feelings. Do I think it's correct? No.
Mm.
It doesn't matter. It is what it is. That's what it comes down to. I believe Mike Rinder's words, if I recall correctly, where I can't remember if this was
He
in the
does.
email that he sent to me or if it was in the meeting, but he said, when people think of the Aftermath Foundation, I'm the one who came up with the name Aftermath Foundation. He said, people think Mike Rinder. They don't think Aaron Smith-Levin. They don't think Luis Garcia. By the way, I was the vice president of the foundation. Luis Garcia was the president of the foundation. Luis Garcia was forced out about 4 to 5 months ago for similar but unrelated circumstances.
And Aaron stayed, right? He stayed. I cannot. Seems like you could take the man out of Scientology, but you can't take Scientology out of the man. These tactics are very interesting, don't you guys think? Yeah, and he takes it for the Jane Does, for real, when he stands up for them. It grinds my gears that Aaron has done so much work for the movement out in the open. He has done more to expose Scientology in the past 2 years than anyone on YouTube. I only know Mike Rinder and Claire Headley is because Aaron had them on his channel. Without him, they would be nothing. Well, I will say this, and I don't want to take from Mr. Mike Rinder, nothing against him, but I knew of Mike Rinder through the Aftermath show, right? Um, that's him and Leah Remini. But I knew of Mike Rinder through Leah, right? So that is how, and I don't know any of these people personally, but some of this just doesn't, quite jive. I would have no clue all of this Scientology if it weren't for Aaron. Right? Some of us wouldn't. They've been forcing folks out. That's interesting, right?
And he said, yeah. He said, it's not called the Aaron Smith-Levin Foundation. It's not called the Luis Garcia Foundation. It's called the Aftermath Foundation. And when people think Aftermath, they think Mike Rinder. And I said, well, maybe the reason people think of me when they think of the Aftermath Foundation, or they think of the Aftermath Foundation when they think of me, is because I've been working hard almost every day for 6 years as the vice president of the foundation, promoting the foundation.
6 years. 6 years.
Because this organization exists to do two things and two things only: raise money to help people leave Scientology and deploy that money helping people leave Scientology. It doesn't matter if people like us. It doesn't matter if we like each other. It doesn't matter if people are upset with this person or that person.
Exactly.
We have more money on hand than we've ever had before. We're helping more people than we ever had before. You can't really make an argument that anyone's upset with me has any impact on the Aftermath Foundation at all. And I said, if Mike Rinder, speaking of Mike, if you, Mike Rinder, have some problem with the fact that people associate the two of us in their minds and that's unpalatable to you, you can step down. That's a Mike Rinder problem. That's not an Aftermath Foundation problem.
Exactly.
And Mike said, I totally agree with you completely. And if my vote to have you removed doesn't go my way, I will resign. Well, spoiler alert, the vote went Mike's way.
That is not cool. Like that right there. I was like, what? Yes. Aaron, I think he was also on Popcorn Planet. Natalie Lawyer Chick had Aaron on her channel after the Masterson case trial, and he was so passionate. Yes, he was. Like he was so. He still is. That's the thing about this man. He's still very much passionate. Thank you, Dirty Bitch. Said this will affect the foundation in the short term for sure. Well, I guess we will see. I'm just saying, like, I don't think financially they're going to do as well if it wasn't because this man brought so much attention to the foundation.
Let's be honest, guys.
It's
Many
the
of you have
ego.
detected that there's been something wrong with these relationships for quite a while now. You guys have noticed I haven't had Mike or Claire on my channel in about 6 months. That was deliberate. In some ways, this has, for me, and maybe the others would say it has for them, for me, been somewhat of a toxic relationship that I was never going to leave. I've been in a somewhat humiliating position of like,
see, and if his other partner who started the organization with him left 6 months ago, and he was still hanging on, that is just like, oh my God, he wasn't going to leave. He was really in it for the long haul. He was voted out. Not cool. Oh my gosh.
craving and needing and wanting the approval and acceptance of people who at this point just honestly don't want me there. And I was never going to leave. I was fighting for dear life to stay.
I hate that.
And with a little bit of perspective, it's only been about 8 days. Let's be honest. I feel like they've probably done me a favor at this point by setting me free. I'm not just saying that as a cliche. I really do mean it, because I've had this hanging over my head for quite some time now that, oh boy, if these guys have a problem with me, they're going to kick me out and that's going to be humiliating. And I have to watch what I say and watch what I do and everything. And honestly, it's humiliating. I shouldn't have to live my life that way. And if they don't want me to be a part of their group, they shouldn't have to be forced to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Look, you guys know, we all used to be great friends. I couldn't even tell you precisely when that changed, because honestly, we haven't spoken about it. We've never had a conversation about it. Mark and Claire have never had a conversation with me about it. Mike's never had a conversation with me about it. I raised $20,000+ for Mike's cancer treatment a few months ago so he could start his treatment. That didn't warrant so much as a phone call.
Oh my
the relationships have been sour for a while now.
What? That is crazy. And by the way, Becky says on the Scientology subreddit, people seem to be on the side of Mike Rinder. Lots of rumors about Aaron's behavior. Well, I'd like to see the subreddit. I've not seen it. If you can email me, I don't know the link, or if there's somewhere I should search, let me know. Here is my email if you want to send it to me. I would love to hear about what the subreddit has to say. Yes, we will support him. I don't. I'm just. I cannot. He will create something bigger and better. I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree with that. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Shout out to you guys. We can support him in whatever he does. Absolutely. Not even a phone call. You raise whatever amount of money. Listen, if you raise $500, $200, 150 on my cancer treatment, you going to get a phone call, a hug, okay? You're on my list of bugging forever for life for even thinking about me that way. I don't have a dog in the fight. To all others, I do watch both channels as an ex Jehovah Witness. Yeah, and I don't think we're really meant to like, in all honesty, I really do hope that these organizations or these people do what they say that they're going to do, right? Um, and that their heart continues on the right place. But it does bother me. I'm not going to lie. Like this is really sad to hear, and then the treatment afterwards.
And that's okay. It's okay. This is not the end of the world. Like personalities are personalities. Things change over time. The Aftermath Foundation. The Aftermath Foundation has been a fantastic organization that's done fantastic work over the next 6 years, and it will, of course, continue to be exactly that. Do I feel betrayed by people who are supposed to be my friends? Yes, I do. Am I angry about that? Yeah, of course I am. Does that mean I'm the good guy and they're the bad guys? No. We're all good guys. We were good guys then. We're all good guys now. Personality conflicts, whatever you want to call it, chalk it up as life. Shit happens. It is largely thanks to my work and my platform and my fundraising and my advocacy that the Aftermath Foundation has close to $250,000 in the bank.
Oh my
The
gosh.
Aftermath Foundation finally has gotten to a point where it has, and that's information that you get from publicly available filing. So I'm not like telling tales out of school here. The foundation has finally been able to accumulate, but also raise, thanks to YouTube, enough funds, more funds than it can easily spend. So the floodgates are open, wide open, on the types of requests that the Aftermath Foundation can grant, not only from people who are leaving Scientology, but from people who've been out of Scientology for years. In the early days of the foundation, we were very limited on what we could approve. For a long time, we wouldn't even approve any money to help people who were already out of Scientology. We would only approve money to help people who were in the process of leaving Scientology. The reasons for that were purely financial.
That's crazy.
It wasn't because we didn't want to. And you realize even if you have a chunk of money on hand, you always have to ask yourself, but how easy would it be to replenish these funds if they were spent? Until the YouTube fundraising platform became, or the YouTube fundraising option became feasible, raising money was always a challenge. Raising money is no longer a challenge. Okay. So you can expect the Aftermath Foundation to do even more good work, like expand its scope of good work moving forward. So even more moving forward than has been able to be done in the past. Let me see here. Now, whenever I appear on large platforms talking about my channel or the SPTV phenomena in general, I have always said and have never failed to say that the icing on the cake for what we do here on YouTube is that I can use my platform to personally use my platform to help people who are leaving Scientology. And I'm going to continue to do that. And with the help of some other former Scientologists who regular viewers of my channel will know very well, we're going to be creating a second nonprofit organization to help people who are leaving Scientology.
That is awesome. You guys drop some hearts in the chat. I really do hope that they keep this going and that they create and do what they have to do to continue to bring some awareness. He started a new foundation because those who want to support the cause, we won't be given to those people any longer. Lord have mercy. Wim, thank you for gifting memberships. Thank you. Thank you. If you got a membership from Wim, please drop a heart on the chat. Thank you. I grew up in a very high demand religion, so I've been a very faithful viewer of MSP, Fundy Friday, Jordan and McKay, and A. Aaron's channel. I relate to them. Ooh, interesting. Sorry, you guys, I'm getting a call. I don't know who that is. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yes, if you got, thank you, thank you, thank you. This feels really off. This is a chance to show Scientology that despite their rifts, they will double up their efforts to help people escape. Absolutely. Right. I would agree that there's probably more to this situation that is being led and said, right? This is crazy to me. I don't know.
And this is not like a divide and conquer situation. This is not
Mm.
like with one foundation, we're stronger, but with two foundations, we're weaker. It's not like that. There should be 10 foundations. There should be enough organizations headed up by enough people that if someone doesn't like those people, I'm not, right now there's only one foundation. So what if someone doesn't like who's running that foundation and doesn't feel good asking that foundation for money? There should be 10 foundations. Just like there should be 100 YouTube channels of former Scientologists, there could be 10 foundations. I'm going to continue to do the good work that I've been doing over the last 6 years. And I'm going to continue to do that with my own organization, just like the Aftermath Foundation was my own organization. It was honestly almost exactly 6 years to the day that Luis Garcia called me and said, Aaron, I've got an idea for a nonprofit that will help people to leave Scientology. I said, Luis, we've already discussed this. It's a terrible idea and it will never work. He said, hear me out. And he sold me on this decentralized format of a nonprofit. And I said, oh, that would work. And he said, who do you think we should put on the board? I said, I can talk to Mike, Christie, Mark, and Claire. And I think, I can't remember if I called Claire first or Mark first.
So he put, this is just, so the people that voted him out, because I'm assuming they're the ones that voted him out. This sucks. Like this is not okay. The people that you put in the board in this foundation voted you out. Is that what I'm hearing? Let me know in the chat. Am I mishearing? Yeah, isn't this strange? And Kim, it's interesting that, and we'll go into the website here in the aftermath. But it's interesting because Aaron had, or not Aaron, I'm sorry, Luis had left a couple months ago. It's a mutiny. Hey, Michael, you like the sky, and that's where we heard from about Ashton. That's right. That's right. Thank you, love. Shout out to you. Thank you. I don't know, man. This is exactly who's. It's just sad. I don't like this.
I'm sorry, Claire first and Mike first. Let's just say it was Claire. I said, Claire, Luis just called me. He's got an idea. She goes, that's a terrible idea. It will never work. We've already discussed this. I said, hear me out. And I remember I closed Claire. Claire told Mark was good. Same conversation with Mike. Mike,
he was ousted.
He said, terrible idea. It will never work. You understand, guys, the pre-runner to the Aftermath Foundation, or the only thing that's even come close as far as a formal organization, was the Lisa McPherson Trust. And one of the biggest problems with Lisa McPherson Trust is that they had a physical brick and mortar location right in downtown Clearwater, and it gave Scientology something to attack. And Scientology attacked the Lisa McPherson Foundation like no one's business. And I won't even tell that whole story. But there had already been many conversations about doing some sort of a new organization to help people. And the conversations always resulted in, don't ever try to repeat the mistakes of the Lisa McPherson Foundation. The Aftermath Foundation has succeeded in not repeating the mistakes of the Lisa McPherson Foundation. And the decentralized nature of the foundation is part of what has allowed it to succeed. And it's basically an internet-based nonprofit. It's been wildly successful.
For those that don't know who Lisa McPherson is, she is the one that died under the care of Scientology. I believe, if I remember correctly, she had some. I know the family filed like a wrongful death suit against Scientology. There was probably some mental health issues that they were trying to. The church was opposed of her getting any kind of help. I think she died of like a embolism. I can't really remember that. It's been a while since I looked into anything Scientology like that. But I do remember that she died under the care of Scientology, and it was a horrible, horrible, horrible case. So they started a foundation under her name. Yes, dehydrated. Thank you, love. Cannot wait to see what Aaron does next. Absolutely. Don't become the thing that you hate, right? If you're speaking against Scientology, then don't become the thing that you hate. Don't run an organization by the same tactics. Don't vote, don't create, don't do different shit that was done to you, right? Don't become the thing that you hate. Because the way more and more I'm hearing Marion talk and other things that I've been reading, it's like This is an example of becoming what you hate. Am I off about that? I mean, it's just, doesn't it seem like that?
Well, guys, now we're going to have 2 wildly successful foundations.
Mm.
Hopefully we'll have 5 one day, maybe 10. It's all good. My point is, this isn't a zero-sum game where we're taking from each other or, fighting over the same slice of the pie. I do want to say, guys, I've already discussed all this with Leah Remini. I want to say that for the record because I've received a lot of questions about this. I do not have permission to speak for Leah. I will say the following. Leah's sad to see relationships destroyed. She's happy to see new chapters being written. And I will say this. There is someone who has never said to me, Aaron, you're making me look bad. Can you rein it in? You're doing shit and saying shit that makes me look bad. Can you please not do that? Leah Remini's never said that to me. And Leah
See, he's not speaking against Leah, which is exactly what it is, right? Like, you would think that he would have taken that opportunity to do that. He didn't take the opportunity to do that. He's saying, like, and I don't even, honestly, I don't think Leah really gives a shit because she's been so vocal against Scientology. She's not, she knows what the organization does and stands for. And then this, I just, and I don't think she's a board member of the foundation either. She's one, yeah, I have always, if there's one thing about Leah Remini is like, she just seems very authentic to the things that she says and that she does, you know? I don't know. Mike, Mark, and Claire may be out of Scientology, but the learned behavior is very evident. I would agree. Don't become the thing you hate. Don't become the thing that you are speaking out against. Because, like, what did Michael Jackson say? Look at the man in the mirror, right? Thank you, Christina. Says you are amazing, Robin. Always bringing us great content. Well, shout out to you. Thank you, love, for supporting my channel. She has exactly. She has a huge court case pending. So her being part of any boards would not be a good thing right now at this time, right? So this is why I don't think that she would have anything like to do with any of the board or anything like that. Um, just saying.
Remini has always had my back. So thank you for that. Let me see. Okay. That is definitely all I have to say on this. I'm going to skip the super chats, guys, because I haven't even been looking at the live chat and I don't want to go down that path right now.
He looks so upset. I
That's
cannot.
it, guys. It's Monday. I travel home Wednesday.
Whew.
Thanksgiving is Thursday. You guys know me. I won't be able to keep myself from doing videos on Thanksgiving. So you probably won't see anything else from me between now and Thursday, but maybe you will. Anyhow, that's it, guys. If I don't stop there, I'll just keep blabbing. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me this evening. I hope the connection was okay during all this. I wasn't even looking at the stream. I was just looking.
So, yeah, she helped found the project, but it is not part of the running, says David. Okay, I see. I agree. This is Scientology tactics for foundation. No one was paid in. I can't believe they did this. Right. And if you look at the video, okay, and we're going to go over there to that video actually, and then we'll go over to their website. Let me go to that video. I believe is Blown in Scientology. I think that's the name of the channel. Blown in. Here it is. It was this video. It was this is their video, and I'm gonna make sure I link their I don't think I did, because I wasn't planning to show it, but I will say, and I might not even show all of it. I'll just maybe show you guys the comments. People are leaving because people are pretty upset with what's been going on. Okay. Thank you. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. And let me get this stuff moved out of my screen. Okay. Here it is. So people are saying, this is sad. I see friendships dissolving. This move by the Aftermath Foundation isn't a good move. This is what Scientology was waiting for. From the outside, it looks like the opposition is breaking you guys down. Scientology and little Dave is going to use this as a huge win for Scientology. Just wait, tread carefully, and stay safe. Creating a foundation, a group, a team, etc., starts by one, then spreads to others, sometimes immediately, sometimes later. It doesn't pop into six heads at the same moment. This is all disappointing. By the way, many donations to your health, Mike, was from A asking us to. We love you. So many helped as much as they could. Too bad you all couldn't work out your differences. And that is the piece. When you are part of a foundation, an organization, you don't always work with people that you like. Been there, done that. Blown for good. That's the way Thank you. Been there, done that. Don't always, and I probably it's a temporary thing. I'm like, all right, like this is what I plan to do. I cannot. Like I feel for this guy. You could tell he's hurt. They're gonna hurt the cause. Yeah, definitely. So, and I could tell that they had a really hard time addressing the chat. It was very lackluster when this was addressed, and I know that they're trying to like figure out how to do it. Hold up, let's see. This is the first 28 seconds.
Um, we are here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were gonna do a video with all of us here in Colorado, and then there was a video that came out this morning, and that sort of changed our itinerary for the video tonight.
Yep,
And so we're gonna start off. Welcome to the Blown for Good channel. This is streaming on the Blown for Good channel, and it's also streaming on Mike Rinder's channel, and we are going to address as much as we can address in this. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we even have to do a video about this. But yeah, that is what it is. So
if look, if you
So why is it I mean, you have to do a video there, because the support has been public, right? The donations have been public, correct? So we have to do a video. Let's do a video.
you are waiting for some bombshell to be dropped by us in response to Aaron's video, you should switch off right now because that's not going to happen. We all watched Aaron's video. We are not going to respond to the numerous misrepresentations, omitted information, outright things that are untrue in that video, because that is exactly what OSA wants us to do. And this was not a sudden decision. It didn't happen overnight. And 7 of the 8 board members of the Aftermath Foundation agreed to not attack or trash people who are on our side. We are not going to begin doing that now. We are going to carry on doing the work of the Aftermath Foundation. We all wish Aaron well. We have no ill will towards him. We want to help people get out of Scientology. And the keyboard warriors who wish to reach conclusions about what happened and why are going to have to continue to just speculate.
Mr. Mike, see, and I love Mr. Mike, but dang, this is not a response. This is not a response. Lisa says, estos hombres no tienen huevos. Girl, your comment took me out. For those that don't understand Spanish, Alicia just said, these men have no balls. That's what she said. Look, I cannot. If it's put out on social media, okay, and the support, whether financially through a click and view, came from social media, you do owe social, like get out of that, right? You do. It is so crazy because I feel like, and I could be wrong, but it seems to be a gap, right? Of like, how do you address the public versus like when it comes to YouTube? YouTube is its own entity. You know what I'm saying? That was a mouthful, cup of coffee. That was truly. Even the first 30 seconds should have been different. Different. If the record is wrong, set it straight. Exactly, Miranda. So then, and I hate to say it this way, this isn't about tit for tat, right? It's not even like that. It's about, all right, set the facts straight. It would have been really cool. This is just a thought. If they did decide to part ways for personality reasons, all right, cool. We don't like each other. We don't see each other in this foundation very well. Why don't we all, as crazy as it sounds, but this is what part of mediation is. Let's all sit together in a live stream and say, you know what? There's differences, but he's going to start a different foundation. Cool. You guys make sure you support that foundation because at the end of the day, this is about helping victims and survivors and yada, yada, yada. So they all come together and really mirror the fact that they're in support of each other. there were some differences in personalities. Let the keyboard warriors, Twitter fingers, X fingers do what they do, but at least they came together for the good of this foundation. And what does that show? It shows that no matter what, Scientology or whatever it may be, they're actually on the same page about the fact that they want to help people and not speculate. That is how you do it. That is how you do it. But when you have your ego involved, it gets a little different. And there might be hurt feelings. True? Right? But this hits a little bit different.
Because we're not coming out with some statements
Mm.
that are going to play right into the hands of the Office of Special Affairs. And we are just going to carry on doing what we have always done. Nothing is going to change. And like I said, we wish Aaron well, and he can carry on doing what he's always done. After all, we're a volunteer board. Nobody's getting paid. This is not like that big a thing. So
It is a big thing.
We also all start.
It is a very big thing. You guys, social media is so powerful. This is not like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. This is not where you just hire somebody, in PR and they set everything straight. Do you understand how powerful a YouTube channel is? Whether it's got 1,000 subs to 100,000, powerful, powerful. Especially when the money came from those supporters, powerful. I'm just saying. Yeah, no biggie. We just kicked the VP out. No biggie. It's really not that big of a deal. Absolutely. You know what? And Charisma, I would agree with you on that one. Girl, you are so, there's a lot of hurt feelings, there's a lot of ego. But let me tell you something. How do you defeat, if this is about going up against Scientology, don't become the thing that you hate, right? By emulating those behaviors, by doing the same thing that they did to you. You don't do that. I cannot. I don't know. Listen.
The Aftermath Foundation together. It was all of us that started it. There wasn't one person or two people or three people. It was all of the members besides Amy and Matt, who just recently joined. It was all of us that started the foundation. It wasn't one person or two people. It wasn't named after any of the people. It was named after the TV show that Leah and Mike did. And that's how it started. And Claire and I were doing it since 2005, helping people, getting them jobs and getting them a place to live and getting them a car. And we've been doing that since 2005, many years, maybe even a decade before.
So did the foundation start with Claire and Mark, or did the foundation start with Ron making a phone call and saying, hey, let's do this foundation? When was it initially started? Whether it was taken by the name of the show, I don't think it's neither here nor there. And thank you, Leisha says, Rabbit, thank you for doing the stream, bringing much attention to this. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. And thank you so much for the $4.99 love and being a member as well. Mike's discounting Ron as no big deal. That is a sad part to me, right? Scientology influence destroyed my family. Ooh, destroyed my family. So sad. Gotcha. I didn't realize it was not a place where you could make a difference of opinion and still respect. What you mean, David? I don't know what you're talking about. Is there something going on? Let me know. Let me know. Hold up. I'm trying to read as much comments as I can, you guys. Gaslighting, gatekeep, girl boss, I guess. The series of events is questionable. They kicked out both founders in the span of 6 months. See, that's what I'm saying. When you take public money, you thank you. This is right here. Thank you. This is right here. Scientology is the enemy. Absolutely. Exactly. But don't you take credit for the foundation? Well, listen. Okay. So if the idea of the foundation, whatever it was called, right? But it was started between all of these individuals. I just think that what gives leverage to any Scientology is the fact that the way in which this was handled. If they weren't going to be in the same foundation, cool, then you get together and you decide that and, give the people the details to what's going to happen next. And the fact that the foundation is supporting all victims, right? I'm just saying, what can you see regarding the foundation, its financial, for example? Who created it, filings, when, what, and etc. Exactly. Something is really off. I don't know. Things are about, are, as you Americans can just look up public records, so much stuff. Yeah, we could, but I don't know. Goodbye, Dave. Not the airport. No need to announce your departure. Ooh, Lord, are y'all fighting in the comments? Don't fight in the comments. Don't fight in the
Or
comments,
the
y'all.
aftermath, well over a decade. Well, what? Yeah.
Let's not.
Many years before the aftermath.
Let me stop. We can have a differences of opinion. That's absolutely fine. I think Dave feels like there's more to what this situation is being said. Maybe he feels like Aaron is in the wrong here. That's absolutely fine. I see the subreddit to where Aaron people are talking and speculating about Aaron. But the point is this this is the point. All right. If this is causing division, then why not fight that? Why not do the opposite? Maybe Aaron's personality wasn't for this board. Maybe they felt like they were getting attacked based on what Aaron was saying. Okay, so how do you counter out? How do you do that? How do you counter out that? How do you fight that? What do you do? What next steps do you take? And it's not to just quiet people, but it's to kind of bring that to a head and say, this is a difference of opinion. You don't have to agree with Aaron, right? Just saying. But put the disagreement there. I'm just saying. That's all. No point getting mad.
Started. So this is not a new thing that we've been doing. Doing it under the organization of a foundation is what changed when the Aftermath Foundation did it. And it wasn't just Claire and I doing it out of our pockets and out of our own bank account. So we don't, and new members may come, and some of the members that are on there right now may leave. It doesn't mean that it's not, the foundation has a mission to help people who have been harmed by Scientology. That's our mission. Our mission is not to trash other creators or involve in infighting or any of that. That has nothing to do with the foundation's mission.
Yep, nor does it have anything to do with why we came to YouTube, to continue to add our voices to expose Scientology, which is what we have been doing for 18 years, despite vicious and extensive attacks of us personally on all levels. So we're going to keep on fighting the fight. And as we all said, Aaron does amazing work and will continue to do amazing work. And we're not going to say anything otherwise, because that's the fact of the matter. We all wish him the very best and have told him such to his face. So there you have it.
And that was that. That was that. And David says Leah founded the Aftermath. Well, there you go. So and even if that's the case, they all came together though, and they all raised money. That's the piece that it's like, all right, if the mission is the same, whether he starts a new foundation or not, then it should be the same. Yeah, it says in the official website that the foundation was created by Luis and Aaron. Okay, so let's go to the website before I head out, because now I'm kind of curious. And it's the Aftermath Foundation. Hold up. Here we go. So share this instead. Hopefully you guys can see the website there. I'm gonna make myself smaller. Yes, maybe the rest felt overshadowed. Could be. Go under meet the board. Yes, I did see that. So connect, apply for aid, make a donation, volunteer to help, meet the board right here. So this is Miss Claire right here. Christy, secretary, Mike Rinder, board member, Mark Headley, board member, Ray Jeffrey, board member, Amy Scobie, board member, Mark, board member, and then on the bottom it says past board members. So here it is. Louise co-founded and served as president of the Aftermath Foundation from December 2017 until May 2023. Thank you for your service, Louise. Aaron Smith-Levin, Aaron co-founded and served as vice president of the Aftermath Foundation from 2017 to November 2023. Thank you for your hard work. All right. So co-founded. Now let me go up here. Nothing in Miss Claire's profile says that she co-founded anything or founded anything. Okay? All right. So she actually, it says that she testified. She spent over 30 years in the organization. Let me look at Mr. Mike Rinder's profile. Raised in Scientology, Mike rose in the organization and leaving in 2007. He's been vocal. He shares his information. Doesn't say anything about co-founding anything. And I don't see Leah's picture up here. There you go. That solves the mystery. How about the dates for the rest of them? See, it doesn't even say when she joined. It doesn't say when Miss Claire joined. She spent 30 years. Okay, shortly after Mark, her husband, in 2023, she testified as an expert witness on the Danny Masterson case. I'm looking over here. Chrissy successfully served for 6 years as the president of the Tampa Bay Birth Network, a nonprofit. Okay, we know that. Mr. Mike Rinder, he left in 2007. So these people weren't founders. Nope. They're Mr. Mark, who was appeared on the video as well with Mike. And since 2005, Mark has worked tirelessly to expose the inner workings and abuse. He worked at the headquarters for 15 years. Mark has appeared on documentaries and TV shows, yada, yada, yada. Nothing about when he joined the board. Nothing. Here's Mr. Ray Jeffrey. He achieved double board certification in 1989 and recognized as a Texas super lawyer. Okay, nothing about when he joined. And I've heard of Miss Amy Scobie through the Aftermath Foundation show. I did see that. I think I saw her story if I remember correctly. And then Mark. Okay, so he left in 2005, married Amy. So these are married. Wait a minute. So there's, okay, let me stop right here. But let's talk about ethics. There is nothing wrong with ethics as far as married couples being on the board. Is that okay? Like, I get that they're all survivors, but if we want to talk about ethics, what about that? What about that? There's nothing ethically wrong with that. You think so, Team Brittany? Oh Lord. They created an ethics code behind Aaron's back. I cannot. 3 married couples, and then nothing ethically wrong with that? Gotcha. David says, I'm going to say this once. Leah Remini, Scientology Aftermath, is the name of the show. In the interview on that show, she says she helped them form the foundation. Give me 1 sec. Okay, so she helped. All right, so she helped them board on the show, and she says she helped them form the foundation. I never said she founded she founded it. Gotcha, David. Okay, thank you for clarifying. So the president VP were booted because of newer members? Interesting. Listen, there's more to this. It doesn't make sense. I'm lost as well. I'm gonna head out because I gotta go tend to baby bunny. But y'all let me know your thoughts. Yeah, it's their code. They can be married. They can be married. All right, in the foundation. And there's an issue with the ethics. I would be just as upset for Aaron, even if y'all don't like each other. Clearly, it was a good foundation to bring support to the victims, and I truly wish the best for both of them. But if there's more news, we'll definitely talk about it. I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure you check the description box because that's where you'll find the full video. Sub up to both channels, of course. Of course, there's no, I'm not going to go either way on that, but sub up with both channels and let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys have a great one. Rabbits out, guys. Rabbits out. Where's my exit door? Bye, guys.